All right, good morning from Mexico City. I'm gonna keep this low because other people are probably sleeping. I'll be sleeping soon. I just got here right before the sun. I'd like to think I arrived before the sun did. Yeah, so it was an overnight flight from like 10:45, no wait, an hour delay, 11:30 to, I don't know, 5:30, whatever. And I gotta say, one nice thing about business class is you're at the front of the line for customs because there was already a line. It had a few hundred more people, and yeah, it was about, I don't know, maybe 45-minute wait. So not too bad for me, but for other people, it was crazy. And then had to get a taxi here, which was not too hard. I mean, I just went with the taxi at the airport. Would figure they got to be somewhat trustworthy, and they were fine. I think they overcharged me a little bit. And I got a car, or I went to the ATM to get money, pesos. It's always confusing because the dollar sign's the same. So I think I don't want to withdraw $5,000, but yeah. And then I went to a Starbucks, not because I wanted an American coffee, although I did get a cappuccino, but I didn't want to change for one of the large bills because I figured I don't want to be, I got too big in the bill. So then after that, I got the taxi and then got to the place. And yeah, so now, because I didn't obviously sleep much on the plane, I'll get about, I don't know, 5 hours of sleep, and then we'll explore. My friends have already explored the city some, so I'm coming a day late, and I will be exploring the city too, and get food, and I don't know, see what Mexico City is about. It's really cool so far. Nice people, and yeah, it's got a nice vibe to it. But I haven't even tried the food yet, aside from a cappuccino. That doesn't count. Okay, it is the end of day maybe 3. It's Sunday evening, 2 hours ahead of back home in California. But this is the first video I've done in a few days, a summary video. I've done a lot of other videos. I don't know how many I've posted because I forget. But this is the first summary video that I've done since I got here, really. I mean to do more, I want to do more, but it just, by the end of the day, I'm just exhausted. I was just so spent that I'm not able to do a video. So this is the first day that I mean, it's like 1 a.m. and the whole day was spent doing things. No naps, no resting. And although I do sleep in, so there's that. But I think it's a sign of I'm acclimating myself to this elevation and, tropical zone or whatever. So yeah, and I mean, like aspirin helps too, but yeah, a little bit of a headache for the first few days. So there will be other videos, like my formal videos coming, of course. Everyone's like, oh yeah, in my head, everyone's doing that. But yeah, it's been surprisingly, I mean, I knew I'd have a fun time, but it's just much nicer city than I would have imagined. And again, I'm going to cover this in other videos, but if I have to summarize it now, I'd say it's the people first and foremost, which makes or breaks any place. But there's just a really welcoming aspect to the people. I mean, obviously in the shops, but it's just more than usual. Yeah, it's just a very friendly atmosphere. I think more than I've seen in a lot of other countries. In other countries, I don't find people are like mean or whatever. It's just here they like one up them. There's only been a few countries I think that have like equaled this. So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, you just feel like you're always like invited and welcome here. Just a lot of friendliness. I've yet to like meet unfriendly people that I know of. I mean, it could happen, but anyway. Obviously the food, of course. I mean, and it's sometimes the cheapest food, although there are exceptions. We went to a nice restaurant and that food was outstanding. And a Japanese restaurant, which is okay, good atmosphere. Sometimes it's the atmosphere, the ambiance, and the friendliness are just, and the drinks are like the best part, but the food itself is like, okay. But with street tacos, fresh street tacos, it's like, yeah, and we've been getting churros, it's like, yeah, so that kind of stuff is great. Inexpensive, I think everyone knew about. There's some stuff I've learned about the city and stuff, the tours, just how much I appreciate a good tour, because you don't have to think at all, and you can just literally be told when to cross the street, which is kind of nice, especially for me, if I'm like taking photos and videos and doing things like that. I don't want to work on Google Maps or plan out things or here's where to go next. It's just cool having someone say, our next stop is coming up. We've got something cool planned. That's what I really like about tours, and they're less expensive than in a lot of other places, so that's really cool too. Yeah, I've taken a lot of photos. We did biking. I'm always kind of like tepid about like biking, like in traffic. I mean, I don't know the rule. I like, especially in a foreign country, it's like I don't know the rules. I know the lights are the same: red light, green light, yellow light, but the lanes and stuff like that, I just thought, oh, I'm gonna like cause traffic problems. But nope, they're extremely friendly to bicyclists. They've got lanes, and just I'm like in shock of how much they cater to try and get people to bike more. Yeah, that's like just blew me away how easy it is to rent a bike and to get around. So that part is really cool. That was like the big thing today, was doing a long bike ride, and the food, and we had some good pizza. So I can go on and on, but I gotta say that it's highly worth checking out Mexico City. Yeah, I mean, there's other, there's the coastal towns, sort of the resort towns, but there's something really special about Mexico City proper. Yeah, I mean, my phone is like dead every day from all the video and recording and stuff I've done, so that tells you I'm having fun. All right, one more full day left, and then we head back. So it's kind of goes by pretty fast, but it's better than nothing, and it's maybe I'll return. There's a good chance. In Mexico City, if you have the door open, you get visitors that need a little help finding their way out. You're close. So close. Let me make it easy for you. All right. Now you probably can't miss. All right. That's funny. This is it. This is the final video from Mexico, and it went by so fast. I can't believe it's already Monday night. Wish I could stay longer, but work. This is the amount of days I took off, so maybe I should have. I don't know. Been a lot of vacations this year. It's hard to keep going too far on that. So it is what it is. I have some notes. Yeah, things I found out that, there's a lot of things I knew that it would be inexpensive, and it is. It's definitely, a lot cheaper for a lot of things. Not always in all places, but for the most part. Eating, you can definitely eat a lot cheaper than back home, and if you go to like the right places, you can get beer a lot cheaper, definitely like half the prices you'd get back home. So things like that I learned, but that's just monetary things. The biking thing will be a whole separate video, but I can't believe that I'd never even been in this city, and now I've pretty much biked through a huge amount of it. I mean, not all of it, obviously. It's like 27 million people. It's big, but a lot of the main parts of the city, yeah, we biked, I don't know, like 10 miles today, 12 miles, I don't even know how much it is. And it's crazy because my first thoughts were like, I don't know about this biking thing, because then, we're in the streets and it's going to be mixed with cars, and I don't know how the drivers are. And so that just seems like not a wise thing to do. But, doing it, I'm going to cover this in other videos, but, learning kind of slowly, getting used to it by doing that, like the dedicated biking day on Sunday. That helped. And then when you start discovering that most roads in the main parts have bike lanes, sometimes 100% dedicated for bikes, and other parts have 100%, they have bike lanes that are shared with buses. That's kind of cool. So for the most part, we had that, and you felt like a lot more comfortable. However, the one thing that happened today was just going so far, I don't know if it was north or west, but going to the parks, that we eventually got out of the dedicated lanes and into just like highway or almost freeway. Actually, some of it might have been freeway, and that was just like crazy. I was like, probably shouldn't have done that, but it wasn't like on a choice. It was just all of a sudden like the lanes are changing, and suddenly we're like in the 2-lane road, and you're on the left in the middle of traffic coming both ways, and you can't get over because cars keep coming. That was probably the most suspenseful moment. But it all worked out okay. But then I was thinking, this is what I didn't want to get involved in. But it was kind of fun. It's a fun rush, and you do learn that the people are so like chill, and as even as drivers, they're really kind of non-confrontational, for the most part, not always. But yeah, for being in the roads and not even in the right place all the time, there's really was like very little honking. Then nobody like waving fists. It was just like, kind of, all right, okay, it's, you do you. There's a lot of you do you, I think, attitude. So that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, for the most part, but not always. Running red lights it's sometimes, I've seen it happen a few times, especially motorcycles. And one near accident. I mean, a taxi. I think you had people in it, ran a red light, and they were like a few feet away from a major collision, and the car stopped. And most people don't seem to use the horns too much for anger. It's just more of like a warning, like, hey, I'm here, which is really the best way to use a horn, so people don't get desensitized to horns. But that one, they really kind of let that taxi driver know, because he could have gotten not just himself killed, but his passengers killed and the other people killed. And it's just like, wow, that one was like just, a lot of luck and blessings that was close. So it was just, for me, it was like, the first thing I thought was like, man, I don't know if I want to ride in taxis. It's like, are they all like that? I'm sure they're not, but that doesn't put your faith in taxis. But I shouldn't even say that, because now people might think, oh, no. I mean, it's one bad apple. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So, but yeah, so when there are intersections for bikes, or intersections where it can be tough riding on a bike, so you just have to be careful. And yeah, if you can get a helmet, great, but they don't do helmets here for bikes. Doesn't mean you can't wear one, but they're not like, when you rent a bike, there's no helmets to be rented. So, and I don't think I saw one bicyclist wearing a helmet the entire time, and I saw a lot of bicyclists, so I guess it's just not really done. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You should do it, but we just didn't have the option. And, a few risks here and there, I know. What else? That's about it. I've actually talked for like 5 minutes so far, and it is 12:45, and I gotta get up at like 5:30. Yeah, I think I mentioned in other videos, the sidewalks are more dangerous than probably biking in traffic. It's just, there's so many holes and places where if you just step through, you could break your leg or whatever. If you dropped anything, it'd be gone. Mainly, you're probably going to twist an ankle is probably most likely what's going to happen, but there are places where it's just plain dangerous. So yeah, you have to kind of watch where you're going, but those same sidewalk conditions exist at night, and a lot of places don't have good lighting. So yeah, if you're walking around at night, I would say use the phone for a flashlight, because those risks are high. And the other small risk is just stepping in dog poop and then dragging into your house. That would be unfortunate too. So yeah, I'll have more stuff to say later, but I think the main thing is, yeah, if you can do this with friends, that's so cool. I mean, a person could do this solo, but if you can do something like this with good friends, and that really made the trip a lot more fun. I wouldn't have had near as much fun if I hadn't done it with good friends. So that was cool. But I would say also learn as much Spanish as possible. There's no excuse not to know at least some. In other cities, you see, like Playa de Carmen, I was at before. Yeah, you can do fine there with no Spanish, but here, it just kind of sucks a lot of times when you order something and you can't understand what they say. But at a minimum, aside from the hello, goodbye, greetings, the person should know how to count to like 1,000. You should know all the numbers up to 1,000, really. And just get really used to those. So change and how much they want for stuff. But the more you know, the better, I think. But it doesn't ruin your experience not having it. So yada yada yada. And I'm also learning about packing once again. I like pack stuff I really didn't use much. I don't really know if I like the gimbal. I say that as I'm using it right now, but I'm not sure it's always worth bringing some of this extra stuff. The tablet, the gimbal, my Zoom phone. I don't know. We'll see. But tell you this, I got a lot of good exercise today. I'm so sore. I don't bike this much at home. It's crazy. All right, let's keep it under 8.
Well, that is it for my time in Mexico City. I've given you some ideas, some things to do, some advice, things not to do maybe, but there's so many options. My time went by very quickly. If you were to come here, usually a lot of people say a week is pretty good. I think a week, it just depends on who you're with and what you're doing, but yeah, check it out. It's like this, like something that people just pass by. You don't want to pass by Mexico City. You want to make sure it's on your tourist destination.
And it's cheap.
It's very inexpensive, yeah, so that's a bonus. You don't have to spend a lot of money.